Hey, good morning, everybody. This is the professor with Day Trading for Success. Today, we're going to be starting with the open strategy. I'll be doing an RV strategy a little later on at the half hour after market opens, and then I'll be doing an open session. These will be different recordings, but I'm going to start with this, which is a strategy we're continuing to beta test, and it's getting better and better. I'm pretty excited about it. Everybody seems to be succeeding literally every day that it breaks the the range of the strategy. They haven't gone wrong if it breaks the range. What still is happening occasionally is you pick a stock that will not break the pre-market range. Now, this is specifically talking about the pre-market range that is set between 7:30 a.m. and 9:15 a.m. That's when you set your levels. I'll show you that in a second. And then after that, it's all about once it breaks the high or the low, you get into the trade and you get out at your own discretion. However, there are suggested profit lines to take. So you're trying to get 1, 2, or 3 quick trades within the first 15 minutes and then get out. After that, this strategy, it starts to consolidate usually. Now, everything's a maybe, usually probability, obviously. Please read this disclaimer. I am not a licensed financial advisor. You should seek the advice of somebody licensed before you try to day trade or try to emulate any of the strategies, excuse me, that we have here. So this is an entertainment channel teaching you some tips and tricks and strategies through demonstration videos that may or may not work for you, because at the end, it's the trader that really has the power to make money or not. But obviously, knowledge is power too. Please read that. So the more of that you get with books or videotapes on YouTube, videos on YouTube, I can't speak, is going to add, to all of your knowledge collectively, and then you create something all on your own. Excuse me, guys. The morning cough always. I swear, I think it's this coffee. Anyway, so let me go over this layout real quick. Then I'll go over the setup to trade this strategy. This is a 1-minute chart with the scalping indicator on it, as well as the MACD. Down here, I have a minimized day chart. Then I have the active trader tool right up here. The level 2, I have a 5-minute chart here. This is a 5-minute on a 10-day chart. This is a 5-minute on a 2-day chart. This is a 15-minute chart. Then I have a 1-hour and a 4-hour minimized. These are all used for either the RV strategy or the open strategy. So the open strategy that we're beta testing doesn't have any book out yet. The RV strategy, which we trade here a lot, and I recommend you looking at the video archives, is a really hot strategy. There is a book out called Day Trading Volume 1 that came out last year that went instantly to bestseller, and that is a large cap range bound strategy. Can't say enough about it. As when I'm talking about the $1 Million Margin Club, I'll continue to do the daily promotions for them, which is their candlestick pattern playbook is the next book they put out, which is amazing. It's the only book that rates the patterns that you're trying to decide whether to go in and out on based on patterns. Obviously, you're trying to a lot of things, right? Volume, the historical movement of the stock and the levels that you mark or make note of, multi-chart alignment, level 2. You're looking for a multitude of different indicators or studies that help you decide when to go in and out of a trade. Patterns is just one of them, and highly respected these days. With the advent of COVID, more and more day traders hit the market. So patterns that often only used to be thought about as day patterns suddenly became patterns that people were using in 1-minute and 2-minute and 3-minute charts, and they were getting respected, because what makes something respected? The more and more people that react to it, that do the same thing, that react to it. That's when it, the self-fulfilling thing. We fulfill our own patterns basically as a collective. But anyway, that candlestick pattern playbook, and then they have 66 candlestick patterns to mastery or something. They put out those 3 books. The other book I highly recommend is Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. That helps you really get a hold of your emotions when you're trading. And then finally, the book that I highly recommend is Tom Hougaard, The Best Loser Wins. If you get a handle on those books, and I'll have links to all of them, and you're new, that's a great way to start, as well as watching not just this channel, but every channel you can get out there. And it doesn't really matter if they're, whether the people think that they're the scuttlebutt about them good or bad or indifferent or hoaxes or whatever. You ultimately have to fish through all this stuff and decide on your own what pattern is working for you, what strategy is working for you in a simulator. You know, you have to do simulated trading, take a little bit of knowledge from everything, and try to get it to work. So that's my speech for today about all that stuff. Now let's get into how this strategy specifically works. The first thing you do on this strategy is you figure out the ATR. So there's the ATR is basically looking at the close of the previous day, which was $145.06 if you look to the right of my picture. Then you look at the ATR down here. Now, see that number, $9.28. When I go back over the candle, it's going to say $8.87. So we'll call it $8.88. And we'll say that for $4.44, if we divide that in half, that's what that ATR would be. So subtract half of it from the close, which is the low part of the red candle. You would get the ATR low. Add half, you get the ATR high. That's the range where we're going to set our profit levels to take profit. These other lines you see in the middle here that are jagged, that's our pre-market breakout range. Now, I set that, but I set them a little early so we could get going here. Now I can probably set it correctly. So you're going to see profit levels if you're going long are the green lines. Profit levels if you're going short are the red lines. Really didn't have, I only set those within the ATR levels. I just deleted a whole bunch in the middle here because I had a whole bunch right here. But then I figured out that where the pre-market generally was, and it wasn't. So this is set. This whole strategy is based on it breaking a level that you set. So let's look at the pre-market zoomed up here. So it did actually break lower than when I set this. So I set this on this candle. This candle, the body shows that the close is at 142.70. Is that right? No, the open. Do I want the? No, I want the close. So what is the close of that? That closes 142.70. Right, so we want it lower. So this is actually 5 cents lower than where I have it. So let's change that right now because that changed since I saw it a minute ago. Okay, so we'll just change that. Now that'll be, what you can't trade in here. These are the rules. We don't trade until a minute after the open when all the market orders shake out. So the candlestick action will be right here when the market opens. And then you're looking for this as it starts, the candlesticks start to move across. You're looking for it to break either high, and then you would immediately get into the trade. Again, it's your discretion, but the strategy says get into the trade when it breaks the level. You're now eligible for all the back testing that this is a good move. Or if it breaks low, you get into the trade. Then you hold the move to the first profit level you see. That's the strategy. Okay, so we'll talk about how those profit lines got there in a second. Now, again, you have your own discretion to get out any. If you don't want to traverse the whole thing and you just made a bunch of money, you might want to get out. Then you wait for it to break the next line. So the way that some of these changes that have been made over the last 6 months on this strategy that's still not officially released is that if you're going long, if it breaks this, you can only trade green candles. And let me give you an example. So you're not scalping in here unless you're just not following the strategy. And more power to you. And I do that a lot and make lots of money. But basically, like say, if a green candle opened right here in the middle of this and then started to go up, you can't get in until it breaks the level. Then you get in and you ride it to the next profit line, or you hold it if you want until you start to see it fall off, then get out. So you might want to hold on a bit longer, as it's going up. But if it's red, if it opens here and starts to go down and then breaks back through this line, it's still red. You have to wait for it to pass where it opened. So you'd have to wait for it to be green up here. The other rule is that once you get out of a trade, you're waiting for the next candle to form and break a level. Be green and break a level, or in the case of the down here, it would be red and then break a level going down. So that's basically the gist of the entire strategy. You might want to play that over 2 or 3 times. You never trade in the middle. You never do random scalping up and down. It's only up above the pre-market level that's set here and short below the pre-market level. Now that's might sound strange if you see a clear trade, but I can tell you from all the people that are doing this, myself included, this actually works like all the time. Now, take that with a grain of salt. You need to decide for yourself. You need to trade in a simulator, all that disclaimer stuff, to seek the advice of people you trust, everything like that. But I'm just telling you the data I have right now on the strategy. It's amazing. Same thing with the comments that are coming through on the channel. It's amazing. Same thing with the emails that's coming through. I'm really wondering if they're going to add anything to it because I don't want them to mess it up right now. It's working really good. I know this is all about beta testing, so they're looking for all of our feedback, but I honestly think that it's about as good as it can get right now. So I highly recommend, I don't know if I should use the word highly recommend, but I think that my keyboard is not in the right spot here. I recommend this strategy in a simulator to see if it works for you. I'm excited about this strategy more than, even the RV strategy. One of the I'm not sure it can be as profitable as the RV strategy, right? But I think that it can make you some short money really quick, and then you're out. It's 15 minutes. So let's just say you've got your scanner set up to find these stocks, and then you're getting ready to trade, and it might take you a half hour to 45 minutes to set this up, and you're done. Half hour to 45 minutes after, including the trading in here. So, that's a pretty good, you see all these influencers say, I do all my trading in an hour. I do all my trading in 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is. Not too many people say 15 minutes. Now, again, including setting it up, you're probably a half hour to 45 minutes. When you really get quick at it, it probably will go faster than that. So I have a pretty large group here. As always, there's always people that are trading with me, that want to trade with me, and I'll be quarterbacking, but you don't really need anybody to quarterback because that's why they have the rules. Everybody's responsible for their own trades. As always, we have about 6 minutes until the market opens, 7 minutes until we start to trade. So we have plenty of time to actually talk about more stuff. Now, this scalping indicator here is amazing. This has been available on the last couple of episodes. I'm not going to keep putting it out there, but this is something that I scripted myself, and then with help of some of the subscribers and AI, we made it better and better and better. The green represents the buyers, the red represents the sellers, the blue column represents the volume, and in here it gives you, now a pre-market it doesn't work very well, but as soon as it starts moving, but it gives you the sentiment with inside the candle. You can already see there's some volume here, but it's pretty light. And then I've been using the MACD more. Those of you that don't know what it has the crossover lines here. So just to give you an example of how this works, let me just stretch this out a little bit. So you see how it's showing action going down here and then action going up here on this histogram. And then right when it changed, these two lines represent the crossover of that. It's crossing over, telling you, hey, it's going a different direction. Here's the strength of it, you can see. So it's one more indicator off of the zero line here. So it's one more indicator taking the 9 and 24 average and then figuring out what that crossover is going to be, that mean average is going to be, which is the 924, and it says it right up there, right? Somewhere? I can't remember right now. So, I guess I didn't show you how I set up the profit lines. I'm sorry. I'm glad we thought of that. So a couple of things here. Fibonacci levels are set from left to right. Okay, this is on a 10-day, 5-minute. You always go left to right, and then wherever the low to high is, the peak or the trough. This happened to be low to high. And I do that on a 2-day, 5-minute as well. And that gives me some of the profit lines or support and resistance lines. All the rest are based on historical data. We have about 4 minutes to market open, guys. Now, I use, it's in the strategy calls for that to be done on a 5-minute chart. So you can go back as far as 10 days to find those. You're looking for levels inside the ATR. So in order to get any of them on the going down, this is where you break. See, this is the pre-market low. Profit levels can't start until right then. So it looks like there maybe could have been another profit level right there. Maybe a little tighter, like right there. I don't know why that didn't get picked up by me there, but basically you see wherever there's a wick or body that seems to be a determining factor where the stock might have slowed down, turned around, consolidated. I mark those as potential areas where it might happen again. That's historical data on a chart. It's not nonsense. We can't tell you why it turned around then, or stopped or rested and waited and consolidated then before it moved, but it often does. As you can see, the Fibonacci levels here in the middle, not where I set them, are being respected. Look at it again, being respected, being respected. Why does that happen? Because other people see these levels and then they all react. And it's the same thing with historical data. It's not nonsense to market. Now, this is a particular strategy that has it. I'm always combating the people that, why do you have so many lines on your charts? Because I'm following a strategy that says to put the lines on the chart. If I'm not following that strategy, I don't have the lines on the chart. That's all. So there's not only one way to trade, guys. That's the whole thing. There's this attitude out there. It's just like, this is the only way to trade. This is what I was taught. You do it here, you do the gap, you buy the dip, you do it. Okay. And if that's working for you, awesome. Stick with it. And if you come up with a really good strategy, since this is a community share channel, we would love to have it and use it and test it in front of everybody. Call your name out and, maybe you'll get a book about it, but, don't go hating people that are just trying strategies that everybody kind of has their own thing that works for them. And support and resistance lines are really good guidelines for people. Particularly if you're new, but in these type of strategies like the RV strategy and this open strategy, I love the fact that they have these. I have found now that if I don't have them on, I feel a little lost, which is sort of maybe not too good because I never used to have them. But if you're doing tight scalps, one more thing of confirmation besides multi-chart amount alignment, volume increasing or decreasing, bigger patterns, weekly, yearly, monthly, SMAs, EMAs, VWAP, all these things combined. It's just one more thing. So if you don't like it, the cut of the jib of the this type of trading, then, it's probably not for you. But, it doesn't mean that it doesn't work, because it does work. And that's why I love the beta testing part of it. So guys, the market's just about to open. How far away am I from finding this? Am I doing this the hard way? I think I am. Let me just expand this. Okay. Everything's ready here. Okay, we're about to go live. As you can see, this is the open session right here. Here, it looks like it's on its way up to break this level. We'll all be trading 1,000 shares. We'll all be trading market so that it's automatically picked up. We're all going through Schwab's own exchange, and we should have no trouble with this stock, Dell, getting our, well, we know we don't have any trouble getting it. They always fill them for us. So, okay, so now let's let these market orders shake out. So the market is open. The first thing I'm going to check is the trouble that I had yesterday. Wow, this is really low volume, guys. For the open, that's kind of crazy. There it goes. Okay. I was like, it had 1,000 here a second ago. This is why we love the exchange with Schwab, so in case there's any trouble here. Okay, so this stuff is moving. It's a huge spread here. Not good unless this is not moving. This looks like this isn't moving. 5, 40, 40. Yeah, so we're right in the spread. There's the market maker is going to give me. Yeah, so this is correct. Okay, phew. Yeah, yesterday with NVIDIA was just ridiculous with it, but it was 2.5 million. Oh wow. Okay, so we're already there. So is this going to go down or up? Let's see what happens here. We're waiting for it to. We have to wait for it to break the level. Now it seems like it's starting to go down rather than up. So let's see if that happens. As soon as it breaks 142.70, on the market maker. That's what I'm looking for. 142.70 right there. I can get into the move if that actually happens. Now we're getting some more volume, which is good. It's not from us yet, so whoa. Oh, so there was a bit of a delay there because that happened, didn't it? That just all of a sudden hit with 161,000. So they were still having trouble with this stock. Man, 140. And then it caught up instantly. Good God, people. All right, $600. So, oh, look at the volume coming in there. See that, guys? So that's set for intraday. So I got to cover to get out of this position. Yeah, I'm going to get out right there. Oh, wow. So I slipped all the way down to 400. So that, again, was very annoying because I should have made a lot more money than just got made there. Yeah, okay. So I have to wait for the next candle if it's going to continue to go down. So you saw the point of control pull down. You saw the volume come in here. Again, this is very, very annoying that it delayed there. That's very annoying. So I'm going to wait for the next candle to open to see if we're still going down. It looks like we are. So I'm getting ready to go down. The second it breaks a level there. It actually already did. There it goes. Okay. So I'm in at 27 short. So I would look to get out by that ATR. That's 64, 146. And I hope it doesn't. It can't stop the market maker stuff, guys. That's the one that's really the killer. Candlesticks, I'm used to. Market maker, no. Wow. So that went the wrong way. Now, I would get out halfway up here, which would give me a loss. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Yeah, that hurt. But I'm following my rules, so let's see. 41.60, 140. I'm looking for 140.50 range, maybe. It better not stall me out there. Now, if it doesn't show it going down, then I would have no way of knowing to get out on the price action. The price action has to show it going down. So it's changed candles, but that's okay for this move. Here it comes in to pull it down. Can it pull to that ATR? Is that it? What's my position? 141.27. Guys. So that's a little bit more money now. Can it get to that ATR anywhere close to that? There it goes. What did I get that at? That's not where I wanted it. It jumped up right when I got it. So I have to wait for the next candle to get in here. So the amount of action here is pretty, and now we're getting a lot more per candle, so that's good. That stall out was just kind of like, so I'm definitely going to complain about that. There just wasn't enough volume for that to happen, so, but that's okay. Stop whining. All right, so this is a green candle. Now, the rules are, obviously, I cannot take this trade. Well, I can't take this trade at all because, yes, I can. Yeah, I got out on that candle. So if this turned red and broke through here, I could take that trade, or I could look for the next candle, which is in about 20 seconds, and I would be more inclined to take that. I don't like the move of this. You know, since it went up, I'm a little worried. So this is discretionary. It really should break there before I take that trade. But I'm not feeling it on that candle. I'd like to wait for the next one to break that ATR. Wow, that happened so fast. Oh my God. Just going to take that. Whew. All right. Oh, I shouldn't have got out so quick. There it goes. Well, I'm gonna stop there today, guys. That's almost $1,000. Let's Let's take a look at what this looks like right now. Let's do a little bit of a recap here. So I'm a little annoyed that on the very first trade, I probably could have made $200 or $300 more. I think by the time I got in, it didn't show me this breaking. It didn't even show it on the market maker, and that has never happened to me before. So that's disturbing. I've had the candlesticks lag, but there just wasn't enough volume for that to be happening. So yeah. Now this platform layout was tweaked. And what that means is that my team, Charlie and Alan, will open up multiple as you know, I have 6 screens, or if you watch any of the videos here, I have 6 screens here. They'll open up multiple layouts, and then they'll time test them to see which ones are reacting the quickest. So often there's some difference between them, right? Then they've opened them from the saved layout that was completely clean before any trades were taken on it whatsoever, saved, right? They always open up the saved layout that was built fresh and then saved before a trade was taken out, because Thinkorswim representatives will tell you themselves that a whole bunch of stuff doesn't reconcile. It'll go overnight and not reconcile, even though you're out of a trade. It's still going on in their little cloud on your little layout. So particularly if you're holding something, that's when you really want to be careful of resetting what you've got going on. So that's what they do. They time it from something that's taken from a saved layout, and then they hand me the best one here. And then before I start, I clean the garbage. So make sure you watch that episode 3 that explains all the tricks to speed up your layout so you get really sensitive candlesticks, really fast movement. However, that didn't display it here. So that's a bit disturbing, like something's might be fundamentally wrong. This is like the 3rd time in a couple weeks, and that's really only happening at the open for me, except NVIDIA, where from talking to other people, even on other platforms, a lot of people were having trouble. 2.5 million, if you try, not if they were trading a 5-minute chart, but on the 1-minute chart or the 30 seconds, some people have 10 seconds. It was just like, it would just froze on the 10-second chart. So it was just freezing. So yeah, you could see that 2 million. I mean, I'm going to cut them a break on that. And if you guys know my history, but trading on Street Smart Edge here on Charles Schwab long before I switched to, I was doing E-Trade and all kinds of different platforms before I did Thinkorswim and Lightspeed and all that. But I had I was banned from trading for life on Charles Schwab because of glitches on the platform that allowed me to take short positions on stocks that I hadn't arranged to borrow, if you understand what that means. And what was happening is I was selling, but it wasn't registering the sale. So I'd push my hotkeys again. I was hotkey trading, and then it still wasn't. So I would push my hotkeys sometimes 3 or 4 times, and then suddenly it would reconcile, and it would show that I had a short position, and I had made $15,000. Like, isn't it great when you make money by mistake? And then I kept complaining. I never would have taken those trades, to be honest with you, especially doubling down that like 4 times that rapidly was just kind of insanity without looking. I didn't see even, it just so happened the stock went my way or whatever. And then there were other times where it didn't work, but it was a series of times, kept complaining, kept having communications. And what I didn't know is they were doing the 1, 2, 3 strikes without me even knowing. And then suddenly they banned me and I had to get on and, a tough love, the guy's telling me. Tough love. You got to understand you're a professional trader. You should know better. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, whoa, hang on a minute, guys. That's not my... So I had to file a trade dispute, going through the SEC and all that, because that's where the rules I was breaking. And I had to, get a representative and all that. And I fought and I won. And they reinstated me and all that, because they could prove, even with the keystrokes, they can see what I was doing and how it wasn't showing the data to me. so they can just go back and they saw every little keystroke, which is kind of freaky. And then I said, well, what do you want me to do now? Well, our recommendation is that you don't trade at the open. I'm just like, guys, you manage $7 trillion and you can't get a platform that allows you to trade at the open. That's the true story. How their answer was just, yeah, that's unfortunate. We can't keep up with the new hotkey style of trading. That was the first time somebody brought up all the gamers that are trading, like professional gamers are now traders, and they're used to hotkeys, and I just said, God, we're working on it. Well, what happened is they retired it and brought in Thinkorswim as they merged. It's all those people that loved Street Smart Edge, and I was one of them, other than the fact that it couldn't keep up with fast trading. It was an amazing platform, offered so many amazing things. Thinkorswim is too, but this kind of thing, would it have allowed me to take a short on coin until I made a deal? Because that's hard to borrow. I always have to make a deal when I do. Would it, in that little bit of delay right there as I was going down, I wasn't going to trade coin, so I didn't make the phone call. I didn't set it up. But what if I was, and I wasn't planning to go short or something? I don't know. And it let me go short, in other words. So that was a long story. But so once again, this strategy has proven to work. Even with the delay there, I got in the first trade. I made it. I think I held it and got out somewhere in here. And then I got in here and it looked really bad. I was red. I held through it because I didn't want to do half of that candle. I was looking at half of this candle is usually what I get out. But I mean, I guess I was true to my real rule. Even before I saw it, I was past that entire candle. And I saw that I think I had some really bad slippage here from where it showed me. It was suddenly 50 cents further down than I wanted. So anyway, and then I rode through this. And then I took another trade, I think, right here and made another couple of $300, which ended me up at about 900. This could have been a trade as well. Now there could be no trades. See, there are no, gets more difficult because there are no profit-taking lines. So this is back to just your scalping skills. So as this broke this below this level, this is probably a really good trade that you would have been wanting to watch your volume indicator, scalping indicator, MACD, Bollinger Bands, multi-chart alignment, level 2, whatever you watch to scalp. You probably could have got a pretty good one there. And now you can't, any of these. And now if I wasn't talking to you guys, I could have probably captured one of these, but we're at the, no, we're not even at time yet. But I really have been trading this just 2 trades, sometimes 3, and I'm out at this when it starts to stop and consolidate like this. It gets too hard with the slippage because I know 1,000 shares I'm going to have slippage. The volume's at least up now. But it worked again exactly like the strategy called for, exactly what happened as long as you keep the parameters. You may want to get out sooner than halfway up because it could have kept going, obviously. And then I would have been a loss even after my win. I think I would have been $300 or $400 down right there. And then I could have barely recovered. You would have seen me probably trade a little longer if I was just getting back to zero around here. But I would have got back even if I lost halfway up here. These other candles would have given me a way to get back and still be green. It just wouldn't probably be $100 or $200. Now, remember, this strategy works with 5 shares, 10 shares, 20 shares, whatever it might be. So it's a great strategy. You don't have to risk 1,000 shares, but anyway, yeah, I know. Okay, so I'm continuing to trade on other things. So, guys, listen, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give a thumbs up. I hope that this was somewhat useful for you. I can't wait for this book to come out. So a bunch of little tricks in there that haven't really been talked about yet. Also the scanner settings and to get the stocks. So right now, to get the stocks, set your ATR for 4 and above. The price we set it for between $5 and $500. So you might find it's hard to get an ATR stock that's under like $25 that's 4 and above. They just don't exist because it has to be a 14-day average, and those low stocks will spike, but they won't carry that kind of an ATR, if you know what that means. Okay, I know I'm late now. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Stay inquisitive. Stay green out there. Be careful. Trade in a sim first. See you soon.